Arsenal are now 7 games unbeaten against Chelsea. I think it's fair to say that Arsenal are starting to own Chelsea. Let's be honest. Like, this Chelsea team today, for me, absolutely toothless against Arsenal. That defence could have played that game 30, 40, 50 times and would not have conceded a goal. Don't get me wrong, both teams weren't fully strengthened. No Havertz, no Jackson, no Palmer, no Saka. But look, that was what you called a professional, controlled performance. Lots of yellow cards today. Neto, Colwill, Fofana, Partey, Gabriel, Odegaard. And it should have maybe even been a red card in the first half for Fofana after a stamp on Declan Rice. You know, that is, for me, on another day, that probably would have been given. But look, I didn't watch majority of the game, so if I do miss anything, please let me know. I was watching an absolutely shambolic Tottenham performance. And I'm not going to lie, I am not in the best of moods, as you can probably tell. What would cheer me up is you guys liking the stream. There's no excuse now. 90% of you who watch the content are not subscribed, and we're steamrolling our way towards 50,000 subscribers. So please go down and hit that subscribe button. It would mean a great deal, as, yeah, we're getting there. Arsenal won, Chelsea 0, and it was another set-piece goal from Mikel Merino. I think that's their first set-piece goal in. I don't actually remember the last time. I mean, at one point they were singing, you know, that set-piece song, and now it's, you know, it's kind of gone. But it's 3 points. It's Chelsea's Champions League hopes now are starting to drift away. They are still fourth, but there's teams around them. Newcastle have got a game in hand. There's only 3 points between 4 points, between Fulham, who are in 8th, and Chelsea. Nottingham Forest have just extended that gap over Chelsea and the teams around them. In terms of the performances, I thought David Raya had a really, really good game today. I thought Lewis Skelly had a good game as well. Declan Rice, Odegaard controlling things. Just the final ball today couldn't really come off for him. I thought that Arsenal were more than deserved winners. Timber had a good game, although Neto at times was causing him problems. Martinelli looked dangerous, got into the final third, and similar to Odegaard, it just wouldn't go as planned for him. Mikel Merino was obviously probably will get the man of the match for the goal. I probably would give it. I thought David Raya had a good game. I thought Caicedo had a good game. I'll be honest, in the first half, I thought Chelsea should have had a man sent off. You know, 2 big challenges from Fofana. Neither of them were yellow cards. You know, stamping down on Declan Rice on another day. We know how bad and how inconsistent these referees are. But for me, that was a red card. If that was against a Tottenham player, I'd be smashing his chair up again. I don't understand how that wasn't deemed as a red card. But for whatever reason, it wasn't. Arsenal did go 1-0 up. Martin Odegaard, decent corner into the box. Looked like it was a poor corner. But Mikel Merino got down, flicked it up over his head into the back of the net. I don't really think Sanchez had that bad of a game. I don't really think he could do a huge amount about that. You know, and they take the lead in the London derby in really, really good fashion. It was a good header from Mikel Merino. You know, it was a decent chance after that from Arsenal was put wide. I think it was it in the second half? It was Merino's volley. Yeah, it was second half Merino's volley. You know, Nkunku was causing problems. You know, Martinelli had a chance, and he kind of flapped at it again towards the end of the first half. The Fofana challenge, the first one for me was probably a yellow, but the stamp on Declan Rice, it was deemed it wasn't forceful enough, or it wasn't huge force, which is why it wasn't given as a red card. But for me, that is a 1,000% on another day, that sort of challenge would be given as a red card. You know, Arsenal went into halftime, deserved to go in front, higher XG, higher shots on target, better, much better chances. Second half was a bit of a card galore. Partey, Gabriel, Neto, all booked. You know, Fofana booked. And there was a couple of good, decent opportunities from Chelsea, but for whatever reason, it just wouldn't fall for them. Now, people are going to straight away say if Cole Palmer was on the pitch, it would have been different. But I'm not saying it was a nothing game for Arsenal, because essentially the league, they're only really playing for pride now, because they have pretty much secured that second spot. And I'm going to go as far to say that I think Nottingham Forest have secured third spot. So really it's only fourth and fifth if fifth does get Champions League. But Arsenal today, it was a much better performance. Not in terms of like the goals. Some people might think it was a boring game, but in terms of managing out the game, I thought it was much better. And they've actually got a run of games. Excuse me. They've got a run of games where they play a lot of games at home now. They've got Fulham at the Emirates in the next game. Then they've got Everton away, and they play Real Madrid at the Emirates, Brentford at the Emirates, and they've just played PSV and Chelsea at home as well. So the eyes will, of course, be on that Real Madrid game on the 8th of April. There's a lot of talk, off the scenes that Arsenal are going to go out and spend £300 million. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do in the summer coming up. But as it stands right now, I think that I think Arsenal are in a good position in terms of the Champions League. Of course, they're not where they want to be. They should have won the league this season if they went out and bought a number 9 in the summer and then strengthened again in January. But for whatever reason, Liverpool have blitzed this league. They've been the best team by a country mile. And in terms of Arsenal today, that is, I think that's, other than the West Ham game, I think is it 1 defeat in 18? Or I could be wrong on that. Decent performances away at PSV in the Champions League. Decent performances at home against PSV. Raheem Sterling put in a good game. I was surprised to see Raheem Sterling. Obviously, I think he was ineligible to play today. But I think towards the end of the season, you may see him play a bit more football than expected. Of course, they want to get the most out of their loan. But for me, that was a decent performance in terms of game management. I thought Arteta made his subs really well as well, bringing on the likes of Wanyeri, bringing on, other players, the likes of, was it only Wanyeri that come on? Was that the only sub he made? Oh, no, he brought on Tierney at the end, but that was when the game was done. Oh, then, yeah, he only really brought on Wanyeri. I could have sworn he brought on. Oh, he might not have. But to be fair, I mean, it doesn't really need. I mean, the game. I didn't think Chelsea would ever score. I mean, Fernandes, I didn't think was that great today. He was on a yellow, and then possibly, Fofana was on a yellow, gave away the free kick. He may have been sent off. He should have gone, to be honest. Colwell obviously got booked. Cucurella, I thought, had a decent game, had a decent header. Unfortunately for him, headed it straight into David Raya's hands. But I just feel that in terms of the game, I don't want to, shit on Chelsea too much, but I only thought there was ever going to be one winner. I actually did predict a 2-0 win for Arsenal on the Football Terrace. I nearly got that scoreline bang on. Lots of people thought they would draw today, but Chelsea are crying out. They need a new goalkeeper, even though I don't think Sanchez is bad. They need a ball-playing centre-back, a number 9, and another attacking midfielder. And they're pretty much bang on for top 4 going into next season with that maybe challenge. Arsenal need a creative player in the midfield, a wide player, and a number 9. And in terms of the Premier League title race next season, that's probably going to be the most exciting title race we have seen in a long, long time, because Man City is starting this rebuild. Chelsea will get stronger. Liverpool, can they go again? Who will Arsenal sign in the summer? Like I said, lots of reports coming out there that they're going to go and do £300 million. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. In terms of in terms of Arsenal, I guess it's just win as many games as you can, try and build momentum and try and stay in the Champions League. In terms of Chelsea, the objective would be get top 4 and win the Conference League. If they don't win the Conference League, then in my opinion, Maresca should get the sack. That would be absolutely catastrophic looking at the teams they're up against. They've got Liga Warsaw in the next round, and the first game's away. You'd expect them to blitz that competition. The only team which may cause them problems is Real Betis. Not me sounding disrespectful to the Conference League, but that is the only team. And they're up against, I can't even pronounce the name. So that'll be the only threat they really face. But let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. If we get it 250 likes on the stream, on the video, make sure you do it. That subscribe button. Check out the Tottenham match reaction as well as the cup game and I will see you all soon. I'm out.